play as we start the third quarter here at the SCG. The margin 25 points. Cresswell tries to get it out of the middle. He gets a second attempt but puts it straight onto the chest of James, who fires it down towards half forward. This time Caven defends as he takes the mark and goes to the outer side. Kickett spent time on the interchange because of the blood rule. Back now and they need him firing in that centre area. Gray plays on quickly. First goal vital. The left footer Leon Higgins gives it across to Dale Lewis. A little chip in towards Lockett. He's in a very tight angle. In fact, there's going to be kicking right on the boundary line. Plays on now. The umpire says, away you go, Plugger Lockett. And one behind as he hits the woodwork again. 6-9 plays 10-9. Collingwood bench. Look on. And Kelly will bring it back into play.
Just need another Richardson.
Complete the trio. McGuan in front. Dashes through halfback. Mix away towards Gavin Brown. Ricocheted from his knee and opens the door for Daniels, who gives it to McRae. A short pass in towards half forward, but to whom? No one is there. Collingwood have the numbers. It's elusive initially for Graham Wright, but now he's clear. The speedster comes across the ground towards Sharkey. Sharkey's got a bit of time and he's got a bit of space.
Down towards half forward. Williams gathers the bouncing ball. Watson's on. Ignored by Williams. Goes a long way. Kicks from 35 and his third. And misses to the right-hand side. It's a good run. 10-10, 6-9. Can the Swans get back? There's Crawford up ahead.
Mark Day's at centre half forward now.
Doreen comes out wide. Dunkley right on the 50. Told to play on. Ungainly kicking style. Floats it towards the wing. Gray's up in front. Monkhorst again roving. Heard the voice. Delayed the hand pass. Well done. McGuan. About 70 metres from goal, McGuan. Rocker will need to get a shake on here. Arrives too late. Dunkley. Very powerful hands. A one grab mark. Dangerous kick across the goal face. Not a bad result. Doreen and Patterson track it across the line. Collingwood dominating the centre square early by 13 points at quarter time. 25 at half time. Boundary throw in. Rocker props in front. Rose over the top. This is Russell. Deftly done. Tries to slap it out. Caven. Worth a kick up towards the wing. Kickett backed himself to get that one. Bounces up. Well done. Again lacking support. And Wright comes away leisurely and gets it to Brereton.
Spent considerable time on the bench in the first half before getting his opportunity, then kicked a goal. He goes to half forward, but again, the strong marking power. And a call for 50 for Andrew Dunkley. Not heeded by the umpire. But his aerial work is excellent. Kelly the fly. Daniels the first to recover. Overruns it initially. Will get it back to Kelly. A poor bounce. Disappointing for him. Williams, he's got him. What a season Paul Williams has had for the Magpies. Kicked 2 goals in the second quarter. Charges into half forward again. Great spoil on Rocker, however, by Dunkley. Tackle almost too high. The umpire lets play go on. McRae runs across full back. Gets past Francis. Puts Huskus under the gun. Bayes is close to the boundary line. Keeps it in play. Comes over the top to Kelly. And Kelly's got a little room. Bounces away from half back. Kicks up towards centre wing. But it's going to be a kick down the ground.
Pretty stiff for Gavin Brown. He did do the big lunge at Paul Kelly. Got him a little bit late, but he had to go.
Look at it! Finally, a big grab from Tony Lockett.
And what a big mark it was from behind. Craig Kelly doing everything right, being in front. Paul Roos limping off the ground, maybe a corky. Kepler to take his place back on the ground.
Lockett for his second and a very important kick at this stage of the game. 25 points the margin. Well, bit of disappointment for Sydney, bit of disappointment for Brisbane, but the mark certainly worth another look.
Bad miss, considering his recent string of goals. Most unlikely one. Pert kicks in. Monkhorst in from the side. Gray up. Off hands Patterson. Buckley's hand pass to James on the bounce. He's been very good. Kicks inside the 50. Richardson couldn't control it. The hand pass comes out of defence from Dunkley, only as far as Aaron James. He chips towards the pocket. Williams again. So lively. Oh, that was ambitious. Brilliant mark by Crawford. Now Kelly hasn't had a good day. Higgins down towards half foot. Kick it has to wait. He's got it now. Runner outside. Cresswell runs to the 50. Open goal square. He goes for home. It's good. His first, they needed that one.
Well, 3 goals isn't a lead that can't be pegged back, particularly when you consider the Swans are playing as poorly as they have done. They can just find 3 or 4 other players to spark, and they could create some damage.
The next goal could tell the tale of this game as Buckley's kick goes down to half forward for Collingwood. Huskus comes storming through. He gets it out to Daniels. Another one back towards Caven. Sydney out of trouble. Towards Kickett and Wright. Wright got a hand to it. He's quick to recover, but Kickett's there with him again. What a tussle as the 2 go to ground. In comes the assistance. Kickett still working hard. Sensational play. And he's won the football on the outer side of the ground.
Inspiring stuff from Kickett, and if a few of his teammates follow suit, then Brisbane may have something to cheer about.
Well, he's just the sort of player who can inspire them. Goes short to Dale Lewis, playing his 100th game. Still 75 out from goal. Lockett comes out, and this wall across the front of him makes it very, very tough. And in that wall was Gary Pert.
50-metre penalty, but the Swans have just got to find another option. When the ball is coming in slowly, Collingwood have got Lockett's measure. They've got 3 or 4 guys covering each angle. So if there's 3 or 4 on him, there must be somebody clear. But if they're prepared to work hard enough, they'll be able to find.
Pert is going to put them inside 50 because of that 50-metre penalty. 40 out. Russell flicks it wide towards Buckley. He gets a bad bounce, but he's got support through Richardson, who floats it in towards full forward. Watson off the pack. Gives it away to Patterson, and there's another one. They've got the answers at the moment, Collingwood. Patterson gets his second, and it's the Pies 11. 11-10 plays 17.
Patterson's had a pretty good afternoon up at Sydney. He's had only the 3 kicks, but 7 handballs. And he does know how to kick a goal. This one obviously wasn't all that difficult, but he put himself in the right position. He's now got 2 for the afternoon.
Margin 24 points. Monkhorst out of the middle, floats it down towards half forward. They came from all directions, and Brown going back with great courage has been rewarded. Did not blink going into that pack, Gavin Brown. Leading by example. Looks for Richardson, not a good effort to kick. And the mark is juggled down there by Dunkley. Almost get 50 here.
Richardson at full forward with Sav Rocker coming off the ground about 6 or 7 minutes ago.
Huskus breaks away towards midfield. Cresswell going back with the flat of it alongside the centre circle. Darren Cresswell smothered off the boot. That was untidy. Well done by Williams. Comes back to Williams from McGuan. James bobbed up so often. How's the finish? No good. Huskus has got it. Away he comes. Takes a while. It affected the kick, but not enough as far as the Magpies were concerned. Daniels inside the 50, stretching. Bayes claims the mark. Mark Bayes, 45 metres out. Goes for goal. It's a magnificent kick. Bayes bends it back. 8-10, 11-10.
And Mark Bayes, forever the fellow that has to plug the hole. Probably would have got the job in Holland a few years ago. But inside 50, he is just a marvel with the football. And I'm sure Ron Barassi would be very tempted to play him there all the time.
Sydney hang on, but it's Buckley out of the centre again for Collingwood. Down towards the 50, down towards Burton, but past him. And over the line as we go down to the boundary line for the latest medical news. Here's Russell.
Yes, Sandy, it looks like that Paul Roos is permanently benched. He has a right cork leg. Not real good for him because it's unable to run, so I don't think he'll take any further part in the game. So not good news for the Swans.
No, not good news for Sydney, not good news for Paul Roos. In towards full forward. Huskus, Brereton. And eventually McRae over with the football and a throw-in the right forward pocket. Under 12 minutes remaining in this all-important third quarter. Richardson, Dunkley, Brereton, McRae at the back wearing number 2. All there. Brown. Steadies. Good smother. Sydney can get out of trouble.
Sure.
Is it going to be costly or is it over the line?
I don't think he's had a big day this boundary.
He's going to be bringing it all the way back.
I'm not sure whether he's working off the crowd reaction, but he made that decision about 4 metres after Kapler had burst away. He was also the culprit in the second quarter, and he got 2 for 2 on it.
No votes for him today, I can gather.
Richardson, Dunkley, McRae, that trio in it once again. And Dean McRae. A little worm burner down towards half forward. Daniels running through the centre. Floats it up towards Lockett and Kelly. Lockett 1-2 grabs. Not enough, said the umpire. You need another one. But he takes it for a third time. He snaps it. He's kicked a goal. Oh, Sydney are back.
Well, worrying times now for Collingwood and Lee Matthews. 2 weeks ago against Hawthorn, they had the game won at half-time and almost tossed away the 4 points with a pretty ordinary performance in the second half. And Sydney just playing a little bit better football, once again having to rely on the individual skills of Lockett.
Back in the centre, Buckley's a key here, cutting through the centre square again, but he's not required this time. Kelly, Garlick, still he goes. Claimed by James. Buckley couldn't control it. Kick it. Almost stopped. Away to Gray. From half forward. Lockett on a tear. Tony Lockett, 15 metres out. About to kick his second goal in the space of a minute.
You think they might be leaning forward in Brisbane now?
I think it's got their interest.
Well, this once again was just a great ability by Tony Lockett. The kick wasn't greatly to his advantage, but the Swans getting the ball through the centre far more quickly. It's isolating Kelly and Lockett. I look forward to Russell's assessment at three-quarter time.
I tell you what, even Richard Champion would be hoping this is a goal. My mate Tony. Here he is, 15 metres out. Lockett. He's got his third. Here come the Swans.
What a fantastic player he's been for Sydney. Just talking to the people up here, they do know who Tony Lockett is, which is a darn sight better than most of the other players here. Lockett is a superstar. He featured on the middle pages of the one of the dailies here on a weekend, which is a marvellous thing.
The Sydney chant is strong at the SCG. Collingwood now need to steady. James' kick is high and not very pretty. They've all got to sit and wait. Richardson is one of them. He's taken to the ground. The football spills free. Kickett has been instrumental in coming back. Daniels is wide on the outer side, but he's under pressure. So too is Garlick, picked up by Dunkley. And Dunkley's kick is wide towards half forward. Sharkey, the diving attempt to mark, is almost successful. Eventually it finishes over the line. And a throw in with under 10 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Just a kick in it. Monkhorst and Rose. One by the former, who punches it back towards centre wing, but James gets caught. Here's Kickett again. Look at the one-handed pickup. Look at the skills. He's igniting this side. Can they keep going? Kelly charges through, passes in towards half forward. Lockett was there. Bayes was in front of him, and Mark Bayes can level the scores.
And there's been a noticeable absence of possession from Williams and Buckley. Gavin Brown still getting his share.
Bayes from 42 metres leans back and he's away to the right. Bad miss by a man who's usually deadly with a football once he puts it on his boot. 5 points the margin. So it's turned into a real thriller. Kelly, perfect, finding Buckley. As Gerard said, been a little more subdued in this quarter, but this time he's found another player in Williams, and Paul Williams is dynamic. 3 bounces, suddenly he's inside 50. Here's 4, he goes to ground, he gets caught, a cry of ball. Russell storms through, has it and lost it, and they pack it up just inside the Collingwood attacking zone inside 50. It's another bounce as Jason Daniels picks himself up.
Well, they could be talking about the Williams slip tonight. If this goes wrong, he was through, he was looking at goal and suddenly slipped to the ground. Richardson dragged down Garlick, smothered off the boot. Brilton was in there. Russell lost it. Kelly against the flow. And the bodies go in willingly now. We'll have a bounce just outside the attacking 50 for Collingwood. Under 8 minutes till three-quarter time. And the Magpies up by only 5 points now. They were out by close to 30 at one stage. Richardson hooked it down behind. Williams concedes some ground. Burns to Francis. Back to Burns. Off his step. Probing kick. Brereton in best position. Juggled attempt. No good. Caven heads for the line. They concede a behind. A goal the difference. 11-11 to 10-11. Scott Doreen. Good kick. Garlick can take it and go. Garlick to the wing. Down towards half forward. Bayes is up in front, almost the mark. Gray spins in, lost it. James comes away short. Buckley is on the wing. Snaps it down towards half forward. Awkward half volley there for Richardson. Dunkley behind. Hasn't got the ball. No free kick. Still he goes. Kick it inside the centre square. Well done. Gets it away to Daniels. The old 1-2. Back it comes to Kickett. He unloads. Up towards Lewis. Works off his man and takes a great finger tipper. Dale Lewis, who was superb a fortnight back against the Crows. Outstanding there. Controlled it brilliantly. Goes in short. Crawford meters in the clear, and suddenly the Magpies are coming unglued. Crawford with a chance to level the scores. Approaching three-quarter time. Justin Crawford. No good. Off the side of the boot. Out of bounds. On the full in the opposite pocket.
3 Collingwood players there defending. And Tony Lockett. Brereton in the meantime is off the ground. Rocker is back on. Brown sets himself to spoil and does. Then goes in for the football himself. Swept wide. McRae gives it to Bayes. Mark Bayes outside 50. Lockett caught behind Kelly on this occasion. And Craig Kelly stands his ground to take a timely mark in defence. Gives it away to Richardson, who goes to the outer side. Collingwood now through Scott Burns a chance to run down the ground. Sharkey is there as well, but Burns goes longer. Down towards right half forward and over the boundary line in that area. There's Mark Richardson, another throw in. So some games on the bench there with Mick McGuan and Dermot Brereton. McGuan had an excellent start. Will no doubt be looking to come back in the final quarter and for a big quarter too. Sydney challenging. This is McRae. Gives it away towards Doreen. Or put his teammate under a ton of pressure, but they're going to get out of it. A couple of good hand passes, but the kick is poor, and it goes straight to Gavin Brown. He's just forward of centre wing. Goes long, in towards full forward again. Patterson's got a fly, and he's giving away too much money.
He's had a superb quarter, Dunkley. Really has stood up, taking some strong marks.
Goes over the top to Creswell. Last year's club champion. Floats it in towards the middle. And the mark is taken by Anthony Rocker. He goes towards half forward. Bays with the one hand tries to affect the spoil. Tackling has been sensational. Wright has a chance on the outer side. He loves to run. Graham Wright floating up towards Williams. He marks 65 out.
He's getting some space, isn't he?
Plays on quickly. Buckley takes the mark on 50. Severio Rocker down just outside the square with Dunkley. But if Buckley gets onto a ball, he'll make the distance. They lead at the moment by one straight kick. 6 points the margin. He's kicking from 55. It's a lovely looking drop punt. No problem with the distance. But another poster. Another poster. 7 points in it.
Just over 4 minutes till three-quarter time here at the SCG. Doreen comes in short. Crawford has it up from the back pocket. Chips towards half-back and Lewis. Dale Lewis with Kelly running. Puts the ball into his path. Kelly tracking it through the wing. Down towards half-court. Close to the boundary line. Goes looking for Gray. Over his head. Collingwood behind. Perk comes up to mid. It fell over. Gray took him on and did very well. Tied it up. That was enough. A draw there was a win for the Swans. Bounce about 35 metres out.
The Swans have been particularly good all afternoon at taking the ball away from kick-ins. Really got it worked out here.
Collingwood by 7 points. Rocker up in front. Monkhorst on his left foot. Bays. Here's trouble for Collingwood. He bends it back. Red on the goal umpire. No. A sense of theatre from the goal umpire. He knew a long time ago.
Let me make them wait.
The flag is still waving. And now Kelly. Margin back to 6 points. It will come back once more. This time, perhaps. By Kelly. Good kick too. Buckley. To the middle and Francis. Wright. Storms away. Wright down towards half forward. Unloads. Long kick. Rocker is the target. Dunkley. Well, the man who subdued Wayne Carey earlier in the season is playing resolutely now in defence. About 5 good marks in this term to Gray. Cresswell has some work to do now. Keeps it in front. White was closing. Cresswell gets through the middle. High up and under. Brown. Well, McRae thought about the contest, then stayed out. Brown, no thoughts of anything but the ball, of course. Goes wide to Buckley. Buckley close to the boundary line. This will be interesting. Lewis fell over. Buckley comes away. Centres it. Intended for Watson. Offhands. Loose ball behind. Husker spins out of trouble. Confronted. Dragged off it. Managed to get boot to ball. Daniels intercepted. Williams to Francis. 15 metres out. And his teammates implore him to stop. Well, I'm not sure that he did, but maybe there's a little hill there. And he just tootled down that hill for 10 metres or so, surveying the terrain.
A very generous man.
Francis, much needed goal, Estedia.
Well, unfortunately, the handball was telegraphed, And Tony Francis, pretty smart player. He read it beautifully. In fact, it wasn't Francis that intercepted it. You'll just see the handball coming up here from Jason Daniels. He had 2 or 3 options. It was Paul Williams who did the intercepting. And there's Tony just thinking, will I or won't I? No, I won't.
2 straight kicks the difference. Out of the centre. Kickett tries to win it to Lewis. He's under pressure. He gives it away towards Cresswell, off to Rose. It's on behind play with Kickett and Brown. Keep an eye on it, boys, as Gray goes down towards half forward. Monkhorst has come in now to remonstrate. It's all happening in the centre. Now, how many do we need from Melee? There's 4. How many there at the moment? They've broken it up, and just as well. Back it will come to Gavin Brown. A critical couple of minutes now. Collingwood have just kicked the steadier. Gavin Brown has the free kick. Williams was the flyer, and he's the first to recover. He's like greased lightning when he gets going. A high kick in towards the pocket region. Dunkley again has been excellent. He's led the defence grandly as he finds Troy Gray on the half-back flank. Sydney would love another one before 3/4 time. Collingwood would really love another one to set it up, but Lewis has got the chance. Lockett saying, go for home, celebrate your 100th. Kick it with the left foot. He's done exactly that.
Gee, that's quality. That was a great finish.
Once again, the Swans can thank Andrew Dunkley, who, well, his mark at the full-back line was fantastic, and we know he can do that, but more importantly, his kick was terrific. Dermot Brereton coming back on the ground. Dunkley's turnover down that end set this up for Dale Lewis. And they're never easy, those shots, under that sort of pressure, and he did it with a certain amount of polish.
53 seconds to go in the term. The margin is 6 points. Brereton back on the ground. Gavin Brown coming off. You can see the reason why. That cut below the right eye. So, we're set for a barnstorming last term. Everything still to play for. Ron Barassi, I get the feeling, will be working right till the last minute of his career.
What a final speech that will be, his 3/4 time address.
Game 514. His first game was against the Hawks at Glenferrie back in '65. Can he go out with a win? They won that first one. Here's Rocker. Untidy. Wright's got it. Kackler's got him. Down he went. Buckley picks it up against the flow. Buckley measures the hand pass. McGuan chips it down towards half forward. Francis. Nice one. Russell on the overlap. 60 metres out. Brereton goes back. Takes the mark. Well, we often joke about coaches making a move inside the last minute. Brereton just on the ground, and obviously a specialist in the last 60 seconds of a turn.
Doesn't give you much scope for error. However, he's done this one pretty well, Dermot, after the Swans just gave the ball away. A bit of inexperience by Anthony Rocker. A long kick out of the square would have sufficed.
Gets his second. And that is a very big goal as the siren sounds for 3/4 time. Brereton beating the clock there. And Collingwood beating the Swans by 12 points at the present time. And the Brisbane Bears take a deep breath. There's still plenty of life in this, and I suppose if you're a Bears supporter, that man, Tony Lockett, hit a purple patch. 2 goals in the term, 3 for the game so far. Could be a key in what happens next. So 3/4 time at the SCG. And what about his turn? Andrew Dunkley, best on ground against North Melbourne about 6 or 7 weeks back. And we can see why. He's a great aerialist. Derek Kickett a good turn. Everything to play for as Gavin Brown anxious to get back. We find the Magpies up by 12, 13-12 to 11-12.
Final quarter on the bench. This has to be Collingwood's quarter of football if they want to play in the finals. Or will it be Brisbane? Peter Caven starts Sydney off, out towards Bays. First goal, absolutely vital. Troy Gray swings around onto the left foot towards Lockett. One hand, but fisted clear. Richardson waiting down. Crawford right on his hammer. And pushed him, said umpire Brett Allen.
Troy Gray's been an important player for the Swans. He's played for the full 3 quarters to date and needs a big final.
Alan Richardson goes to the outer side. Bayes floats across with an effective punch, but waiting down in front was Gavin Brown. Taken over the line. It was touched, and we'll have a throw in on the outer side. What's your gut feeling, Gerard? Can Collingwood hang on?
Well, I think they can. I think Collingwood can hold on.
Rose wins it from the back. Or Graham Wright. Lucks of fortune. Suddenly it came his way, and Collingwood is away. Here they go down towards full forward, down towards Brereton and Dunkley. Brereton a hand to it. Goes in again for a second attempt. Dunkley's quickly on him. So too is Huskus. Sydney fans liking that little confrontation between Brereton and Huskus.
I think he's got lighter. Way restarts. Watson to Patterson, who snaps. It floats offline. Close. Collingwood extend their lead. It's out to 13 points now.
It's 2 for 2 that Dermot Brereton has beaten Dunkley by playing from behind and just nudging him out. And perhaps he may be better playing him from behind, trying to force Dermot up the ground.
Scott Doreen goes in short. McRae waited. No problem. Doreen again, pushing up from fullback. Huskus kicks it out wide for Kapler. Kapler's got it, left half back. Gray offers the lead upfield, takes the mark, the defensive side of left centre wing. Pulls it back towards the middle, needs a mark, they get it from Crawford. Man on across the ground, Kelly, that's ignored. A high floating kick, why not, down towards full forward. Great strength by Kelly, worked Lockett out of it. James hand pass, old Burns into trouble. Kick it, slides in again like a cork in the ocean. He comes up with the ball, tries to give it to Lockett. Garlick tries to keep it alive. Snaps across the face, still a live ball. Bayes in the opposite pocket. Kelly's on in the middle. Kelly, 15 metres out, snaps, misses out of bounds on the full. Well, it would have been easier to take it about a minute and a half ago. They kept it in, they kept it in, they kicked it out.
James to bring it back into play.
Once again, good effort by Craig Kelly there. That's 2 times this quarter he's beaten Lockett in a one-on situation.
Yes, that was pure strength too from Craig Kelly on that occasion. Out of bounds on the outer side. Longhorst, Brown down in front. Rose over the top. Magpies can fight over it. Couple of options. James towards Hassel. He's on centre wing, but he gets caught. Gave it away towards Russell. He lost it. Through. Charges Sydney through Kelly. It's a long kick to Lockett.
Well, that's just a great piece of play by Paul Kelly. He really made a meal of the last shot at goal, but an inspirational interception. And then just a huge kick. Craig Kelly left 10 metres in front of Lockett. Stranded. Just a great captain's piece of play.
He's kicked 3 for the day. But he's been a little off target in comparison to recent weeks. 3-3. Point blank range. It's now 4-3. Sydney stay alive.
Just a great individual piece of play this from Paul Kelly. Good effort there by Kapler also, and the Swans do some gang tackling. Kelly involved, gets one tackle, then follows up his own good work, and then kicks the ball 60 metres to Lockett, who read it best. Kelly stranded out the front, Lockett at the back. We've still got a game.
Collingwood by 7 points. For their crack at Carlton next week. Rucks go at it, fell at their feet. Off the ground by Buckley. Caven didn't have the ball. Garlick, the sweeping hand pass, releases Higgins. The chip down towards full forward. Kelly up in front of Lockett. He played on. Play on's the call now. Lockett brought Kelly down. A mistake certainly, followed by another one. Crawford pops it out of bounds on the full.
Actually, Lockett changed his lead after Darren Kepler had put his head down. He was going forward, then ducked back. Kepler only saw the forward movement.
Here's Pert. Up towards half-back to Watson. Richardson's on. Richardson has to check. Now he's got a problem. Kick it got to him. Pert's followed up. Well done. One bounce and his second through centre wing. Watson still running. Great football by the defenders. Now he looks for Brereton. Loose ball behind. Brereton confronted down there by the youngster Barry. Still he goes, Brereton. Williams back to Brereton. Francis is on for the hand pass, but he couldn't get it away. Dunkley closed him down and will have a bounce. Tantalisingly close for the Magpies. They had men free.
Always seems to be a little bit of injustice there when a player has got time to get rid of the ball and he's pinned.
Richardson out of the air. Can't effectively get a kick at it. And it's still on the bottom of the pack with him. .91 plays 84. Just 7 points in favour of Collingwood to play Carlton in the finals next week. Brisbane players watching intently up north, sensing now that there is a real chance they could be participating in their first finals campaign. From the throw-in, Richardson tries to flick it over the back. Kepler is there, almost fighting with a teammate for that football. And once again, they're battling for it, Sydney. Rose eventually flicks it out to accommodate McRae. He's on centre wing, straightens up, then kicks him towards Russell. They should have got the kick a little earlier. Francis turns it over, and here they go now through Richardson. A high kick up towards half forward. Brereton comes out, but he's caught behind, and it'll be a free kick to Dunkley at half back.
Outstanding game across full back line for Dunkley.
Gives it across to Huskus, who chips beautifully.
Go to Lock.
McRae doesn't listen to Jared Healy. He goes to Leon Higgins, who goes long. Lockett shove it through. And Sydney are down by a point.
Well, a great piece of play there, I thought, from Dean McRae. Picked the right option. But a very good kick from Leon Higgins. There is a long kick and a good shot at goal. But it all comes down once again to the Tony Lockett bulk. Pretty tough to get around.
Monkhorst, a hand pass out of the middle. Higgins and Caven together. Caven comes away with it. Chips it out wide. Bayes lets it bounce. Gathers it nicely. Forward of the wing. Probing kick towards Lockett. Richardson gets across. Well done. Alan Richardson. Deep in the back pocket. Now 50. Not a bad place for it. Collingwood by a point. 91-90. Just under 14 minutes remaining in this game. Here's Russell up inside the centre square, told to play on. Gets by Crawford, has a bounce. Hurried kick inside the 50. Brereton comes hard. Off hands, Hassel down in front. 40 metres out. Pulls it back towards full forward. James is up. Had it knocked away down there by Huskus. Great recovery by the Swan. He got his boot to the ball. It hugs the boundary line. Crashing through down there was Barry. Did it go out? Yes, it did. Hassel took it across. The boundary throw in just inside the 50. Collingwood, no stranger to heartache. Will they be denied again here? They had this game in control in the second term. Russell to Brereton to Buckley. Squares the ball. James waits, confronted by Huskus. Got by him. Goes towards the pocket. Richardson comes up on a lead. Gathers it nicely. 40 metres out. Brereton alone in the square. And that's 50. It has to be. Why, oh why, Dean McRae? Not only does he get the 50, he's directly in front now. Dermot Brereton has put up with the boos this afternoon. An ill-fated season here in Sydney. He would enjoy this. Point-blank range. He's got the goal. He's loving it. And that stretches the lead. Breathing space now for Collingwood. They're out by 7 points.
And one suspects that Dermott went fishing for this 50-metre penalty. Pretty, well, I wouldn't have been too happy if I was Ron Barassi the way James just got around there. And let's just have a look at Dermott. He hunts down Dean McRae. Somebody had to faint.
7 points the margin. Collingwood hang on. Monkhorst wins it out of the centre. Kelly's caught. The ball is held. And Gavin Dorr, the man in white, will have it in the centre. Monkhorst and Rose again. They've come as close as 1 point. Russell's kick is high. It could just about bring rain. There's a big pack of players. Barry gets a lightning hand pass away. They're out of trouble. Kaplan to the half-forward line. Kelly's got some space. He'll look up towards half-forward. Chips in towards Lewis, and he marks just outside 50. Lockett saying, go long, go long. He's there at the back. Kelly's with him. His kick is sadly astray. Away to the left. Frustration for Tony Lockett. It's out of bounds on the full. Frustration, I guess, for Dale Lewis as well. As Gary Perk brings it back into play. Sydney trying to do it for Barassi and Brisbane. Collingwood trying to do it for themselves. Rose gets a fist to that ball and sees it safely over the line. It's on half forward. The sun affecting the run of Monkhorst. Kickett waits at the back. He gives it away to Garlick. Another one towards McRae, who's outside 50. He passes to Lockett. One grab. Sensational mark.
And that should be 50.
It is. It is. And Kelly's not happy about it.
What would you say, a belated spoil?
Well, it just, his momentum was going pretty well flat out forward. It would have been difficult, particularly when Lockett went to the ground, but
I think it might have been the right arm that captured some attention.
This for number 5. The margin is again 1 behind.
well, it's been an intriguing battle all afternoon. Craig Kelly's done as well as probably anybody could have under the circumstances. He has beat him on a number of one-on-one battles, and that's all that Lee Matthews could ask. Let's just have a look at this. Bit of a swinging arm. And I think the body slam might have been the reason, Dennis. Well picked.
Well, how about this? Just over 11 minutes to go. Monkhorst wins it down. Kelly upended, boots it towards his half-forward line. Helped on its way by Crawford. Crashing in was Lewis. Diving in brilliantly down there was Brown. Kickett knocked it away. Lewis again, 60 metres out. Sets it up. Lockett and Kelly. Lockett!
Oh, sensational.
And what about Derek Kickett's last quarter? He's hasn't got a heap of kicks, but he's got the hand in, the desperation hand. And he's won the ball for Sydney a number of times just with those little 1%ers that David Parkin has made famous. And it's going to result in Sydney more than likely hitting the front.
Goal number 6 here for Lockett. 4 of them already in this second half. This for the lead. They're down by a point. Lockett. 2 cities willing it through. He's got it. Sydney lead by 5 points at the SCG, and suddenly Collingwood, who have dictated the terms all day, have slipped out of the 8.
And to borrow a line from a Winter Olympics, perhaps Robert Walls is starting to believe in miracles. because if Sydney do the right thing in the next 10 minutes or so, they've created history.
6 goals to Tony Lockett. Crowd's going berserk. Can Collingwood now come back? Monkhorst wins it, but it's Kickett leading Russell in the race. Kickett has been inspirational to say the least. Gives it across to McRae. Sydney have possession on the outer side. It's Higgins who charges towards the 50. Watson intercepts and he marks. On halfback. Oh, Kitten again. Just fantastic to watch. Away he goes. Lewis comes out. Swings it on quickly. Lockett will fly from behind. Yes!
Not a great kick from Lewis, but importantly, he got it down quickly, and the Swans embraced Derek Kickett in the centre of the ground because he, as much as anybody, has been the reason for this turnaround. After half-time, his performance has been quite superb.
Rocker standing by to come back on the ground. Monkhorst is coming off. Lockett for number 7. But more importantly for Brisbane, this to give Sydney an 11-point lead with 9.5 minutes remaining. 25 out directly in front, just a couple of steps and he bangs it straight through the middle.
Well, it's impossible to speak highly enough of Tony Lockett's season. Under enormous pressure at the start of the year, he swapped in, I guess, as controversial a circumstances as can be, one of the most high-profile players in the game, if not the most. He, along with G.O.D. And he has just done everything that the Swans could have asked of him.
11 points the difference then. Cresswell. The Sydney Swans out of the middle again, down towards the pocket. It runs away from Lockett, goes out of bounds and a boundary throw in. So Collingwood reeling. They led by, as we said, I think 26 points. Maybe even a couple more was the biggest margin in this game midway through the second term. And that's been eroded. Sydney have kept on coming. Thumped out of there by Rocker. Kickett and Richardson. Charging in was Brown. Wrestled to the ground by Kickett. Whistle and a ball up in the pocket. Still plenty of time, but Collingwood needing the next goal. He knows that. Not much he can do. Monkhorst sitting down. Rose flies high. Gets it out of bounds. Clock frozen on 8:43 remaining.
Richardson at full forward. Brereton's out to the half-forward line. Paul Williams on the half-forward line. Looks proppy, perhaps even coming off the ground.
Burns to Brown. Close to the boundary line again. Lewis threw himself in. Knocked across the line by Bayes. A lot of spirit today from the Sydney Swans. There's their bench.
Runner just going to Paul Williams. I think the message was you've got to get down onto the ball.
And the irony, of course, for the Swans, if they win, they lose some of their special assistants with 8 wins for the season. Despite all of that, they've kept on coming at Collingwood. Here's Kelly, but it's not over yet. Crawford. It'll come back, I think, to Kelly as a free kick. He was taken high. It's about 75 metres out from goal. And immediately, the focus of this ground goes about 60 metres downfield, and the big man. Double team now. And Kelly surveys the terrain. What will he do? He sets it up for Lockett. It's 5-on-2 down there. Rocker was there. Lockett to Crumbs. Taken on by Burns front on. Great tackle. Gee, that was a quick whistle. That was a very quick whistle. The umpire, I think, fearing for Burns.
Time now of the essence for Collingwood. There's still enough, but they haven't been deep into attack for some considerable time. Francis gives it to Sharkey and says, go! For heaven's sake, go! But he ambles up towards centre wing where Brereton takes a diving mark. Verma in towards half forward. James takes the mark. He's still a long way from home. 75 out. It's a high kick. Richardson will be the flyer from behind. One grab, couldn't take it. Through comes Dunkley. He's been sensational. Kepler on all fours. Had it but then lost it. Hassel comes through. Gets a short kick. Again, Dunkley tidies up and they should be able to come away. From the back pocket, 2 bounces. Patterson shepherded clear. 3 bounces. Patterson still shepherded out of it. Pretty strongly on the third attempt. Creswell is going to get a free kick for one too high, almost down to centre wing. Sydney playing inspired football at the moment. He finds Garlick on half-back. Everyone running. Higgins is wide. Just keeps it in play. The left footer in his 121st game finds Rose on centre wing. Collingwood desperately need a goal. 11 points down. 6.5 minutes remaining. Bayes the flyer. Spoiled. Watson ripped off the football. Lewis brings it inside, but straight to Richardson. Kelly's right on his hammer. Look at Kelly go. Look at the captain. Gives it to Crawford. Crawford slews off the side of the boot. Goes to Kelly. Kelly across to Russell. And again, the Pies out of trouble, maybe towards Hassel. But Lockett has followed him down. He's got him. He asked the question. Still Collingwood retain possession through Russell. To centre wing. James.
Out the full.
And out of bounds on the full. Sydney to come back into attack. A crowd of 18,191 in attendance here today. And they're loving every minute at the moment.
Giscus around the outer side. All Collingwood. Rocker waiting behind. He's at half back. Under 6 minutes to go now. Hurt. Up from the back pocket. Probing kick high towards half forward. They've been breaking down here. And again, young Barry. Impressive. Swings it out wide. Another youngster, Crawford. Kick it. Uses it superbly. Into space, Higgins. Can he finish from here? Not quite. Didn't miss by much. You can see Craig Kelly having a bit to say. Players wanting down the ground unchecked.
Tony Lockett might have had a bit to say also.
Well, the margin now is 2 goals. And Barasic looking at going out with a win. He first coached against Collingwood in round 5 of 65 with Carlton. That day, the Blues won by 20 points.
Gavin Brown directing Pert to go down the middle.
And he does. Long kick in the Rocker direction. Rose tries to fist away. Burns crashes into the pack. Bayes robbed him at the ball. Brown goes in. Down goes Bayes. Ball up.
Still 11 points. Still time. £12. Scoreboard here is different. We'll go with 12. Kepler threads his way through some traffic, gives the hand pass away. Lewis over the top. Here's a chance for Troy Gray. 35 out. That could be the seller for Sydney and for Brisbane.
Unbelievable.
Sensational scenes here at Sydney, and I'll bet there are sensational scenes in Brisbane as Alan McAllister, the Collingwood chief, is stunned. There are the boys in Brisbane. Take it easy, lads, because you could be playing in a final next week.
Don't want anybody doing an ankle jumping off a chair.
3 straight kicks now. And listen to that Sydney chant. A free kick out of the centre square. So Rocker lets one go. Collingwood desperate for a score. Richardson has a chance, gives it away towards Hassel. Hassel snaps in towards goal. He goes across the face. Sydney have the numbers there, and Barry comes away. It's been an impressive debut by the young man from Deniliquin. Wright almost completes the mark in opposition to Garlick. Keeps it in play towards Tony Francis. Caught just outside the 50, but it'll be a Collingwood free kick because Russell copped one high, and he will take it. Just outside 50. Goes with a long bomb in towards full forward, and a fine mark. Barrett came over the top, but in front of him was Richardson, and he'll have a shot. He'll have a shot 5 metres out, but the umpire taking him right round close to the boundary line. He'll run round. He should bend it back, but he's at the post.
Dear. Only 4 goals since half-time for Collingwood. Good grab. Unlucky finish. Doreen to Cresswell. So less than 3 straight kicks in it now. The time, the enemy of Collingwood, just over 3 minutes to go, and the Swans gaining in confidence and momentum. Bay slaps at Goldwood. Garlick overran it. Watson to right, run down from behind by guess who? Kelly. Garlick's got it. It's going to be a free kick, is it? Going to Kelly. Holding the ball, did he play? Wow. Seemed just to spill out that one, but Kelly's got it. 55 metres out. And I think in Brisbane it's just about time to break out the champagne. Short, looking for Lockett, knocked away, close to the line. Buckley gets back. And the Magpie supporters will start thinking about St Jude. Oh, kick it. Fantastic. St Jude, of course, the patron of lost causes. Garlick's got it. 45 metres out. Well, unlike a lot of people, I thought Collingwood would have been a worthy finalist this season. Barassi is down on the bench now. Finishing in style. He's been a man of great style. But Collingwood, beset by injuries for the best part of the season, a very tough draw. But on the final day, it was their fate to decide. Garlick, that should do it. And you get the feeling there would be a power surge in Melbourne about now. 18-13 to 14-14.
Well, amazing turnaround after seeing the Swans in the last 2 weeks. It's amazing what a side can do in the space of 7 days. The same story can't be said of Collingwood, of course, whose season really has just fallen away.
121 plays 98. Francis cops a high one. He'll take a free kick from the middle. But under 2 minutes remaining now. Barry, welcome to the big league. Leo Barry chips to centre wing. Had Huskus and Garlick both there. It's taken by the former, who gives it to Rose. Off to the running Garlick, who followed it down. They go firing in towards half forward. Crawford, the big fly, unable to complete it. Burns is there for Collingwood. Back towards centre wing, and Dermot Brereton recovers well. Needs something up towards the half forward line. At the back is Hassel. Overruns the football. Doreen kept it in play. Patterson close to the boundary line. Hassled by Garlick. He kicks into the pocket, and a fine mark taken by Richardson. He plays on quickly to Francis. Betters the angle, and Tony Francis will have a shot. 25 out, almost directly in front. Good looking kick from the Collingwood rover, and he's put through a belated goal. Francis gets his second, both coming in the second half, and Collingwood have their 15. 15-14 plays 18-13.
Adam Huskus just coming off the ground, replaced by Jack Daniels. And you would have thought that Doreen would have just masqueraded that ball over the line. That's where the safety was. In fact, it's cost them a goal.
Back in the middle. It's all over. 45 seconds to go. Kelly over the ball. Hasn't he worked hard? And they're up in Kelly's Tavern in Brisbane. And the story of this match perhaps told in 2 Kellys. Sydney's Kelly, and the fact that Kelly, after half-time for Collingwood, couldn't hold Lockett. And they'll be celebrating in Kelly's bar. Ironic. Garlick towards half forward. Lewis, slick hands.
Beautiful.
I like his chances. Things happen that way. Higgins. His second on the run. And these fans have got something to look forward to next season now. Ron Barassi. Big smile. Well, average smile.
And there's Kelly's Tavern. Look at the reaction there. They are into the finals for the very first time. 127 plays, 104. Just seconds remaining. No one takes it out of the middle. They don't have to. It's over. Brisbane are into the finals. Barassi has finished on a high. What a comeback.
What a legend.
Noel Gordon, Robert Walls must now prepare for the club's first finals campaign. Ron Barassi goes out to meet his charges. Tony Lockett, a wonderful haul today. Another match-winning performance after being well held in the first half. Roger Merritt, well, he knows what it's like to play finals footy, but now he's got to do it with the Brisbane Bears.
Oh, it is marvellous. I mean, Ron Barassi for so long a disciple of football in Sydney and Brisbane. And in his way today, he set it up for the Brisbane Bears.
Look at Richard Champion, tears of joy.
I love that Tony Lockett. I love that Tony Lockett. That's fantastic.
Emotional scenes indeed in Brisbane. That town will be buzzing. Sydney is buzzing tonight. Hughes is there. The veterans of the Brisbane Bears. Well, for Collingwood, they must ponder what may have been.
It's difficult to know where it all went wrong for Collingwood. They were so dominant up to half-time. Perhaps that was the problem. They thought they had it won and they were just going through the motions.
Yeah. You almost think back to Essendon against Adelaide a couple of years back in the finals. You're getting there at half-time, you're thinking about something else almost. You've moved on that next step. We're playing in the finals, yeah, we're set. And they lost it. I can't believe that they just fell away so badly in that second half, because you would have mortgaged the house on them at half-time.
Yeah, the dominant players of Buckley and Brown. Brown continued to fight on, but Buckley still got plenty of possessions, probably finished with over 30. Williams just faded out of the game somewhat. But really it was through the great efforts of half a dozen players. There's the Bears embracing that gang tackling that's been going on all year. Up there is apparently infectious. But I thought Kickett's last half was fantastic, as was Paul Kelly's. He's one of the great inspiring leaders in the competition.
Lockett 6 goals in the second half.
I think Lockett probably finished on top. And I thought Troy Gray had a fantastic game. He was one of the few Swans to play 4 quarters. And boy, have Collingwood got some thinking to do over the summer.
Well, David Parker may have too now, because perhaps he was preparing for Collingwood, but let's hear them. Let's hear them rejoice. Sydney.